Welcome to the Bachelor of Education information session for the fall 2023 term. In this presentation, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what sets Western's Bachelor of Education apart from other faculties of education, why you should apply to us, and what we need to see from you in your application. So I'll go through the application process and its various requirements. Let's get started. So why apply to Western in the first place? Well, Western has quite a few features that set us apart from the other faculties of education in Southwestern Ontario. I'm going to outline them now. So first of all, we have a strong focus on professional competencies, and we can highlight those in a few different ways. First, a few years ago, we integrated our pass-fail module. So we've moved away from the traditional letter grade or number grade, and we've now moved to a pass-fail. So this allows you to focus on your professional growth. It allows you to focus on what skills and knowledge you're developing and you're learning, and it removes that competition aspect from your classes. We don't want you to think as your classmates as competition. Instead, we want you to see them as future colleagues. Similarly, we would like you to view your instructors the same way. Your colleagues, your classmates, and your instructors are likely contacts that you'll work with in your future career as an educator. So we don't want you to see them as competition, and we don't want you to focus on, oh, I got an 82, but my friend got an 83. Instead, we want you to really reflect and focus on the skills and professional competencies that you're developing in these classes. Next, we have our mentorship program. Every other week, you're going to be in a small group of approximately 12 to 13 students, and you're going to be assigned an MTM, a Master Teacher Mentor. So this is a current or recently retired Master of Education. So they could be current or recently retired teachers, school administrators, principals, vice principals. They have a significant amount of experience in the education field, and they serve as an Ask the Expert session for you in these mentorship spaces. So that's every other week. You're going to be reflecting and exploring various topics of education. You're going to be talking about what you're learning in your classes and what you're learning about in your practicum. And it's a safe space for you to develop key skills and knowledge, and to develop a portfolio of resources and tools that you'll use in your future career. On the alternate weeks, when you're not in your mentorship program, we have what's called T2P. So this is transition to professional practice. This is sort of like a professional development session that you would encounter in an education field. So when you're in classes and when you're in your schools on Fridays, occasionally you'll have those professional development days talking about various aspects of educational growth and professional development. These T2P sessions echo those sessions. We want you to start practicing that right away. So you'll be hearing from representatives from the OCT, from various school boards, from the QECO, from the salary grading board that establishes your salary grade. We want you to develop the idea that teachers are learners. When you're teaching, you're still continuing to develop and grow in your practice, and we want you to start this in the program. The next thing that sets us apart is our significant number of in-field weeks. The OCT generally requires only about 80 days of in-field practice between practicum or AFE. We're going to give you close to 100 days, so that works out to about 27 in-field weeks across your 2 years in our program. Next, we have what's called a specialty area. So these are similar to elective style courses. These are courses you're going to take that are going to enhance your degree. These areas, advanced psychology, or early childhood education, French, international education, math, STEM, and urban education. These are areas of need and research within the field of education, and they're also areas of research within the Faculty of Education here at Western. So these courses allow you to explore a specific topic strongly related to education and develop a deeper sense of understanding in these areas that you'll take with you in your future career. Finally, we offer international opportunities through our AFE. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we've had to put this on hold for quite a few years, but we're really optimistic that we can start reaching out to our international partners and developing these opportunities. I myself am a graduate of the program, and when I was in the program, these international opportunities were available. I completed an opportunity in Germany and Poland. Other colleagues of mine completed some in Texas and some in various parts of Europe and UK. Some were in South America. We have a lot of different partnerships, and we're really excited to start reaching out to these partners and developing these opportunities for you. So this is a little bit of a breakdown of the 2 years that you're going to be studying at the Bachelor of Education. So this program runs roughly from September to April. There's a little bit of flexibility with practicum. Occasionally, it may have to extend into early to late April, sometimes occasionally even into May. Generally, this is what your schedule will look like though. Your first year is largely class-based, so there's larger class blocks so that you can ensure a solid foundation for curriculum knowledge and pedagogy, and you can learn about educational psychology and curriculum management and classroom management. There are 2 practicum blocks in your first year. However, they are largely observational with increasing amounts of responsibility as you go into your second practicum at the end of your first year. Your second year is going to look considerably different. You'll notice that there are several more blue blocks and the class blocks are quite smaller. So we really want you to focus on what you've learned in your first year and really put that into practice in a safe space through these practicums with an associate teacher. So we want you to really have a stronger sense of practicum and AFE practice in your second year. When you're in your practicum in your fourth year, by the end of it, you will be teaching 100% of the time. So that could be all day or all of your teaching assignments in a high school. I'll go into a little bit more detail as to what AFE looks like, but you'll also see that AFE gets integrated into your second year. Occasionally, this can also be completed in the summer between your first and second year. So what's the difference between practicum and AFE? Well, practicum is a safe setting where you have an associate teacher and you're practicing across 4 different blocks. We're going to place you. So we ask that you please do not reach out to your favorite teachers in your elementary schools or high schools. Unfortunately, we will not be able to place you with the specific teacher that you would like. We have partnerships with our school boards and principals, and there's a vetting system that goes into place when we're selecting associate teachers that are appropriate candidates to guide and mentor you. As mentioned before, there are considerably more days that we offer through the Faculty of Education here at Western. So we're going to give you close to 100 days if possible across these 4 blocks. If you don't live in London or you're thinking about moving outside of London and would like to start developing professional contacts in another school board, that's likely going to be an option for you because we offer 44 different school board partnerships. If there's a school board that you're thinking of in Ontario that you would like to work with, chances are good we do have some partnerships with them. If we don't, we're still open to entertaining the idea of having that conversation. We can't guarantee, but we have an amazing practicum team and we're going to find you an appropriate practicum block for you. The next is your AFE. So this is an alternative field experience, and this is sort of a create your own experience or choose your own adventure block. So it's across 2 blocks, or if you wanted to split it out in a different setting other than just those AFE blocks, generally speaking, we're fairly flexible. You have to achieve a minimum of 210 hours, and this is your design. So this is where you can explore what else you can do with an education degree. If you're primary junior and you want to see what intermediate senior education looks like, or vice versa, those are opportunities for you to explore that. There's also professional education, adult education, nonprofit education, such as the Boys and Girls Club or the YMCA. Occasionally, some of our teacher candidates have chosen to complete their AFE through summer camps or tutoring or other forms of education employment that's not generally speaking in a school. So there are a lot of opportunities that are available to you with an education degree. So we want you to explore that through your AFE. So let's talk about the different program streams and what we're going to require from you in order to apply for these program streams. So we have 4 different program streams. If you've had a chance to look at our website, we have a page for each of these. So we have primary junior French, junior intermediate, and intermediate senior. In all of these pages, we have an admissions tab, which outlines exactly what we're going to require from you, but I'll go through them here as well. Across the board, regardless of what program stream you're applying to, these are the general and minimum admission requirements. So we're going to need to see that you're completing your program by August 31st with a degree granted no later than fall of 2023. So we need to make sure that you're all completed with your undergraduate degree and ready to start the fall 2023 term with us. We're going to need to see at the time of application that you have 10 full or equivalent completed degree credits. So these are undergraduate degree credits, and they must be completed on your transcript and shown as such. With these 10 credits, we're going to look at your best 10 average. So this is your best 10 average between first and third year, and we're going to need to see that that average is at least a minimum of 70. We're also going to need to see minimum average of 70 in your teachable subjects for intermediate senior and junior intermediate. We also offer an equity admission opportunity. So on each of the program stream pages, under that admissions tab, we have a link to a PDF document that's a form for the equity admissions process. If you feel that this opportunity speaks to you, then by all means, we encourage you to take it. This is an opportunity for you to voice and provide some additional information as to why your transcript looks the way it does. Maybe if there are additional considerations that you would like the admissions team to know about. So this is including, but in no way limited to race, gender, religion, socioeconomic opportunity, disability, injury, illness. There are a variety of reasons why an equity admission might be for you. And if you would like the opportunity for the equity team to take a look at your application, then that might be for you. Again, there's a PDF on our website. So GPA requirements vary by program subject and depend on applicant pool. So what this means is that there's generally no way to predict which program streams are going to be more competitive or less competitive. We're not able to provide you with odds as to how competitive or what the chances are that you'll be accepted, because the applicant pool looks significantly different every year. We do have historically a general sense of which programs historically have been more competitive. So that could be primary junior. We have a large applicant pool for the primary junior program. Similarly, in intermediate senior, we know that biology, English, and history are typically quite popular as well. But we are constantly surprised as to which program streams and which teachable subjects have a spike in applicants. So the best information and the best recommendation we can make is to make sure that your application is complete and is as competitive as possible. We do prefer a 4-year degree. That's not to say that if you have a 3-year degree, you can't apply. It's just that if you have a 3-year degree, please ensure that it is complete and as competitive as possible. Courses that we can take into consideration when we're reviewing your best 10 average and your best 10 or your best 5 or 3 for your teachable subjects for intermediate senior. So the cutoff is the end of August, right before you apply. Any courses that you're currently taking right now, unfortunately, will not be able to be considered through your calculation for your average. We can consider them as program requirements only. When you are taking courses in your 4th year, you need to list all courses currently in progress on your OUAC application. If you were to receive an offer and you have currently in progress courses, those would become admissions conditions. So let's talk about the various program streams. Primary junior, so this is kindergarten to grade 6. There's generally no particular degree that we're looking for primary junior. So what we're looking for instead is breadth within your transcript. So when you're an elementary school teacher, you're going to be teaching all homeroom subjects. And so we're going to be looking at that is somewhat reflected in your transcript. So we offer 6 different general background areas, and we're asking that you have at least 1 half credit in at least 4 of these areas. So for English, we're looking for courses in literature or poetics. We will not take courses in linguistics or culture. For fine arts, we're looking for courses in music, dance, drama, visual arts, music history, visual arts history. For health and physical education, we're looking for courses in possibly kinesiology, human kinetics, or food and nutrition. For math, generally any math topics, so algebra, geometry, calculus, and many more. We will also include statistics. For science, this could include any general science topic, biology, chemistry, physics, environmental science, astronomy. We'll also take some courses as related in history of scientific thought, history of medicine, those types of generally scientific courses. Finally, for social science and humanities, we do have a strong preference for Canadian history or Canadian geography. However, we will also consider some courses in psychology, anthropology, sociology, or women's studies. This is our most competitive program stream. I can say that generally the cutoff average for the best 10 for this is considerably higher than a 70. Generally speaking, we see this average climb into the high 70s, low 80s. When we're looking at primary junior French, again, we're looking for those general background credits, but we're also going to be looking for French fluency, and you can demonstrate that to us in 2 different ways. First, we need to either see 5 full or equivalent French university level credits with a minimum average of 70, or we need to see a passing grade or results from a French proficiency test taken within the last year. If you are fluent in French and you don't have any French credits and would like to be considered for primary junior French, junior intermediate French, or intermediate senior French, and you're interested in taking a test, please send us an email. So the email is edrecruit@uwo.ca. That's going to be present on the last slide as well. If you're interested in taking this test, it is on January 14th. Please send us an email with your intent to register in this course, and we will provide you with some registration information. If you're interested in junior intermediate, this is sort of the best of both worlds between elementary and secondary, as it spans across grades 4 to 10. With this program stream, we're going to be looking for one teachable subject and those general background credits as mentioned in the primary junior stream. With the junior intermediate program, we have only 4 teachable subjects available. So that's French, music instrumental, music vocal, or religious education for Catholic schools. If you're applying to music, instrumental, or vocal, we're only going to need to see 4 full or equivalent university level credits with a minimum average of 70. If you're applying for French or religion, we're going to need to see 5 full or equivalent credits, university level with a minimum average of 70. Next, if you're interested in intermediate senior, this spans across grades 7 to 12, so a little bit of elementary, but mostly high school. From your application, we're going to need to see 2 teachable subjects. In your first teaching subject, we're going to need to see 5 full or equivalent university level credits with a minimum average of 70. In your second, we're going to need to see 3 full or equivalent university level credits with a minimum average of 70. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about which teachable subjects here can't be combined. So we offer roughly around 20 different options. However, some of them cannot be combined. If you're interested in history, geography, law, politics, or economics, unfortunately, you cannot combine any of these. So if you're interested in history, geography, law, politics, or economics, you're going to have to select another option. The same goes with social studies and philosophy. Additionally, this also applies to the senior science topics of senior biology, physics, chemistry, or environmental science. If you're interested in one of those senior topics in science, you can pair it with a science general, and that's absolutely fine. So the reason that these courses cannot be combined is because the OCT needs to see 2 subject courses on your transcript, one for each teachable subject. So for the example of history, geography, law, politics, and economics, these operate under the same curriculum guide and is offered here at the Faculty of Education as the same course. So you would actually only receive one course for that teachable subject, and unfortunately the OCT wouldn't allow that. So if you're interested in any of those, please make sure you're following our intermediate senior admission requirements there. All of this information is listed on our website under the admissions tab. Additionally, at this time during the evaluation cycle, we're not able to conduct transcript reviews or in-depth course reviews. So if you have courses that you're not quite sure whether they're going to count to a specific topic or not, I can provide you with a little bit of guidance here. Generally speaking, there are 2 different types of courses that we will take. So there are core courses and related. I'm going to use the example of history for this. So if you're interested in taking history, a core subject or a core course would come from the history department. If you have, let's say, a course in the classics department, and this has considerable content throughout the entire course rather than just a week or 2, then we could possibly count this as related. So if you had a classics course that said ancient Greek history, and it was historical content rather than cultural content throughout the entire course, then we can count this as related. On our website, under that admissions tab, we have a brand new related subjects chart that goes into the related topics and various examples of topics that are going to be considered as related for all 3 program streams: primary, junior, junior, intermediate, and intermediate senior. Generally speaking, we do require and we do need to see more core than related to demonstrate that you have sufficient subject knowledge. If you have a few related, that's fine. So for your first teachable subject, if you have 2.0 related, that's okay. And if you have 1.0 for your second teaching subject, that's generally fine. Please take advantage of that subject chart, the related subject chart on our website. And if you want to provide a course description for these related subjects, so our admissions team can also understand why this course is related, we highly recommend this. Please send us all related course descriptions through the SAM, so that's Secure Applicant Messaging Tool, and this is found on your OUACT's application. All right, so the application process itself, we have a few different components. So your first step is going to be completing your OUACT's application. From there, you're going to receive an OUAC reference number, and this is going to be used to complete your experience profile and to register for your CASPer test. I'll go into more detail about your profile and your test in a minute. So when you're completing your OUACT's application, you're going to be filling in personal information. You're going to disclose all post-secondary education. So this includes college and graduate level education as well. So we need to see transcripts from all post-secondary. If you have international transcripts, we're going to ask that you're submitting these through WES, World Education Services, and that WES sends us a copy of a course-by-course evaluation for that international transcript. Again, if you have related courses and you want to submit course descriptions, please do so through that OUACT's application using the SAM tool. So the deadline for all these components, so that's your T's, your transcripts, experience profile, and your CASPer test, is December 1st. You'll notice that there's a December 4th CASPer test. So that's okay if you take the December 4th CASPer test. What we're going to be needing to see is that you've registered for that December 4th test prior to the deadline of December 1st. So a little bit about the experience profile. This is an opportunity for you to share your experiences and tell us about the skills and knowledge that you've acquired through these experiences. We want to know about you and we want to know what the transcript can't tell us. So we're going to be asking you 3 questions. First, what do you believe the core mission of education to be? Second, tell us about your experiences, both personal and professional. Highlight the skills and knowledge base that you've acquired through these experiences, and tell us how they're going to help you in your future of becoming an educator. Finally, please describe to us any additional information that you think we need to know. Do you have any awards or bursaries, any certifications? Do you speak any other languages? Are there smaller experiences that perhaps you didn't want to go into quite as much detail as the previous question, but you still feel like we should know about them? That's your opportunity to include them in the internet additional information section. The word limit for these is generally 250 to 500 words. You don't have to fill the entire section if you don't want to. Please just provide us with the information that you feel is relevant to us. With the experience profiles, we're not going to be requiring reference letters or references of any type. We're also not going to be looking at resumes, so please do not submit those. Next is your CASPer test. So this is a computer-based assessment similar to sort of like a personality test, but with this, we're going to be highlighting and learning about your personal and professional characteristics. This test is going to be about an hour long, and you're going to complete it online. So you're going to sit in front of your computer with a camera and a microphone, and you're going to be watching a series of video scenarios or reading questions in a word-based scenario. And you're going to be responding to questions based on these scenarios. So it's going to tell us about your professional and personal characteristics, your instinctual behaviors. Some of these questions are related to problem management or conflict resolution. They're broad and open-ended and not necessarily related specifically to education, but it definitely tells us a lot about the type of professional you are and what skills you're going to be bringing to the field of education. There's no need to study. There are practice questions on the website, and we do strongly encourage that you take them just so you can get familiar with the format of the test. This is not meant to be a stressful exercise. We want to learn as much about you as possible, and this CASPer test is the prime opportunity for that. So with this CASPer test, there is also a snapshot component. We're asking that you complete this snapshot component either on the same day as your test or within 3 days of taking the test. I know that on CASPer, it will tell you complete the snapshot within 14 days of the test. Unfortunately, that's just not enough time for us to make all of our decisions and to review them in time. So we're asking that you submit your snapshot, which is a sort of one-sided interview component. Again, you'll sit in front of a webcam with a microphone, and this time you'll dictate out your answers. So you'll talk to us through the camera, and you'll talk to us about 3 or 4 different education related questions. They're only going to take about 15 minutes. So again, if you want to take that on the same day as your test, that's fine. But if you'd like to take a couple other days, that's perfectly fine. And again, that December 4th test, please ensure that you've registered prior to December 1st deadline. Please use your same email that you're going to be using on your OUACTs application and your experience email across all 3 components. So the application evaluation as a whole, this is a holistically based evaluation. As soon as our evaluation team has established that you've met minimums, then it becomes a question of how strong is your application as a whole in comparison to the rest of the applicant pool and the rest of the applicant pool in your program stream. So we're going to be using your transcripts, your experience profile, and your CASPer score. No specific component weighs more than the other. It's holistically evaluated. Again, we're not going to be needing reference letters or resumes. Similarly, we're also not conducting interviews. So the turnaround for this is relatively fast. When you submit your application, the deadline is December 1st, and we're going to turn around and provide you with decisions through your Western Student Center around mid-February. So that turnaround is fairly quick. Those of you that do receive decisions of acceptance or waitlist, you'll be receiving letters with further instructions as well. I wanted to provide you with a few resources and a few links to some upcoming events that we've got going on. So the teacher candidate blog is a blog that we use to communicate with our current students. On there, you'll find academic policies, information about Practicum, the Practicum handbook, and AFE information. You're also going to find examples of syllabi and course outlines, and examples of past calendars for our Faculty of Education as well. So if you want to learn more about the Bachelor of Education at Western and our program and how it's structured, please take a look at that. We encourage you to browse around. Next, we've got a few different upcoming events coming up in November. So on November 9th, 16th, and 23rd, I'm going to be hosting, these are Wednesdays, I'm going to be hosting Zoom drop-in sessions at noon. So these are going to be for an hour. I'm going to sit in a Zoom session. Anyone can drop in and ask their questions. If you want to stay for the whole thing, you're more than welcome to. If you just want to ask your question and leave, that's okay too. So again, these are Wednesdays, November 9th, 16th, and 23rd, and they're going to be for about an hour. Finally, here's some contact information for us. So myself, my name is Rebecca Cole. I'm program assistant at the Teacher Education Office. And then my colleague Sung Do is recruitment coordinator for the Teacher Education Office. The two of us are going to be monitoring the following email, edrecruit@uwo.ca. So we're both going to be monitoring this, and one of us will respond to you as soon as possible. We definitely appreciate your patience as we're receiving a high volume of emails at this time. Thank you so much for attending this session. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to send us an email or attend any of those webinars on the next 3 Wednesdays in November. Thank you again, and good luck on your applications.